Not doubt. I think they cannot increase, or they can employ, or they cannot actually. Right? It means 135 million opportunity. Right?
And I actually feel that basically these jobs are created when they're looking at jobs. Okay, yeah, sure. Companies like the ones that we saw in the video, they are becoming more efficient. Therefore, that company is able to compete, be a better competitor in the market. Therefore, they will get more customers. Therefore, they will create more jobs. But did they also consider the fact that there are also losers in this race, and that actually the people who are losing this race, they lose all their jobs? I sincerely doubt it. It's not like it's creating so much more income across the board that basically the demand for
you consider for half century before, you saw the video here, and many women is data entry and some accounting calculation, which is half century ago. But they lost all jobs, but still unemployment ratio is stable. It means next 3 years later, also unemployment rate is stable.
Stable?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
It means, 75 million lost jobs, but additional 75 million jobs is going to be created.
Where?
They have opportunity. Just like 5G is movie download 5 minutes to 3.6 seconds. So you can do many things.
Well, I mean, like the likes of Amazon, they create this whole economy for delivery stuff for people, right?
Economy for delivery.
So we saw all these logistics people who work for companies like Deliveroo in the UK. Okay, so these people get a job, but actually, what do these? How come these people? It's possible that these people have a job in the first place, because it means that companies like Amazon, they're capable of selling more because they bring the groceries to people's homes. That is, for a lot of people, that's very attractive. But this ultimately goes at the expense of people, the shop staff, of people who are working inside a physical store, a local grocery store. More and more these things will move online. Now we can all look at, okay, so Amazon is creating jobs. Yeah, sure. But how many companies, how many supermarkets are actually going to be hurt by Amazon? I think it's a lot. We are not going to buy more groceries because of this.
So no people.
No.
So where are they going to work?
So what are these people who are now working at shop staff going to do? Are they going to get on a bicycle and deliver groceries to people's homes? Perhaps.
E-base is running around. Right?
But like, it's not so easy for somebody who spent his entire life working in a grocery shop to be retrained to do what?
Young people can find a job. They just develop programming.
No, that's not. I mean, that's not realistic for many people to become a competitive programmer, because you need to compete with programmers around the world, because you can get programmers from anywhere, from Asia, from Southeast Asia, at a rate that is much lower than it is in Japan. So you need to be pretty good and pretty competitive, otherwise you will not get a job.
So what kind of business we're going to be increasing next 5 years instead of replacing current business? Right? What is it?
Well, because more and more things are going to be online. That means we're going from physical to virtual. And then still, I mean, we still need to move goods, so logistic services are going to be important.
Physically handling.
On a daily basis, I move around in Tokyo, and every day I see the number of bicyclists and the number of small autobike people is increasing. And they all have this big bag on their shoulders because they're moving, like they're doing like the fine distribution of small consumer goods. This is already, you can see that happening. But, yeah, okay. But is that creating jobs? I doubt it.
Physically, they need to handle materials. And robot cannot do door-to-door.
Right. Well, soon we have driverless vehicles, so I don't know if it's impossible.
Even if online is advancing, they can buy everything whatever they want, but still shops is still.
Well, we still don't have like a system where we can license drones out that land on our roof and deliver the groceries on the tops of our roofs, but it's possible. You just put in a Jeep. There it goes. You just put a GPS code.
Oh no, this one is just finished.
So you just put your GPS coordinates in your shopping basket, and drones will be able to deliver it on your roof, and you can pick it up from there.
Right.
So that's going to bring a lot of savings for these companies. So I like, okay, these robots are helping us, and they're actually little helpers. They're not replacing jobs. I don't buy it 1 second. I think that maybe they enable companies like that to be more efficient. So they grow their revenue, and because they grow their revenue, they can employ more people. But when they are growing their revenue, other people are losing their revenue because people are going to move from one supplier to the other. They're not suddenly going to buy more groceries. So what they are neglecting here is that there are also losers here, the people who cannot keep up. They don't have the money or the knowledge to actually utilize technology to the same extent as these companies do. But the message of this movie is that there are a lot of people now. They see that the job market is changing, and it's changing all over the place. It's changing in the Western world. It's changing in the developing world, and people are becoming less and less location. The jobs are less and less location based. It's much easier for young people in developing countries to actually become member of the global workforce, and that means that if work is not suddenly exploding, then we will see that some people will be displaced, and that is a risk for a lot of people in countries where wages are high. So how are we going to deal with that?
But this is we discussed for delivery. So Japanese government try to control immigration, right? So they don't accept the people coming from Africa. So cheaper labor.
Hmm.
That Trump is doing exactly. And our country is an island, so we can restrict the people coming from overseas. Right?
Right. They are in Japan. They are restricting the number of people coming from overseas.
In the United States, they cannot. Just country. Europe is also they cannot.
No. But still, people are coming in from overseas, so why wouldn't it be possible from Japan?
Japanese cannot. This is island. But still coming many people. I don't know how come they can come in here.
Well, I mean, basically, if you can get him into your tourist visa and just get lost. Overstay your visa and wait until you get arrested. But the police is really the police is actually, I think that they are on it. Yesterday I talked with a Chinese girl. We were talking about podcasts, and I told her that I always listen to podcasts when I'm bicycling. And she told me that, but you have to be careful because the police will stop you. Police has never stopped me when I was bicycling and listening to podcasts. She has already been stopped like 4 times, so she had to show her ID, etc. But probably they are not stopping her because she's listening to podcasts. Yeah, they're stopping her to check whether she's not an illegal immigrant. So they use that in order to make sure that people are not illegal immigrants. But if the police feels that it's necessary, that's probably because a lot of people overstay their visa. So the next question is, okay, so if a lot of people will be replaced by either technology or by cheaper labor overseas, how are we going to deal with that? Ultimately, globalization, as we concluded, brings benefits because it grows the GDP. But how are we going to make sure that we are going to divide the pie evenly? If we don't do that, then what we see will happen is what's happening right now. And what we see happening is that people who are losing, and that is the majority, the people who do not get an equal share in the benefits of globalization, they are going to revolt against the system because they feel that the system is rigged.
Oh, especially aging people will occur all kind of sort of thing. Because they don't have skill, but getting old.
Right.
But still they have more, their life is remaining more than 20 years. What they're going to do, they have a lot of stress, distress, sort of things. What they're going to do. Younger people, no problem, they need to study, they get some more skills. Right? Problem is retired people. Unemployment and aging and unemployment people. Problem.
Right.
Who's going to take care of them? Like I have skill, but many people don't have skill. Even if he got a position, the highest position, but he's top executive, but he no skill. Who's going to employ him? No.
Right, that skill is very particular to his company and his network that he had. The network is gone. It's difficult to replicate that. So
I submit many companies looking for employment, and everybody, most of the companies ask me, can you introduce your friend or company to find me for their sales activity? sort of things. So that's
They
kind
just
of,
want to buy a network.
yeah. That's right. So who are going to solve? So what we going to do?
So what are we going to do? So we cannot just magically create skills in people that requires training, and training requires time. So people will be displaced, and it will take time, whether they're young or whether they're old. Maybe the young people will be able to bridge the gap and will find their way back into the labor market. But for older people, it looks gloomy. Then the question is, okay, how are we going to make sure that we have the time for this transition, and people do not fall off?
Yeah, I'm telling senior people, if after half of 50 years, and they're going to retire next several years later, but you should get skill. You should study more. But the answer is we're going to retire next several years. They don't need to get new skill. I told them, after retirement, you still survive next additional 30 years. How are you going to survive? They don't worry about that. Or retirement, like a pension plan or something. No, the pension plan cannot sustain their life. So this is, I think, what they're going to do. This is a problem. And more problem is majority of people, they don't actively work. This is a problem. What are we going to do for them? Yeah?
What is it?
My case is this. Very few, not many people would like to work, But just you said, basic income, if the government is going to support them, they cannot.
The government cannot. Okay, so let's move on to basic income.
But for next week, and we need to more clarify what kind of issues do we have. Right?
Oh, okay. So, yeah, okay. We can look at okay, which issues do we have? But basically, the outcome will be that there will be many issues, and basically, I think we will end up concluding that there are winners and losers, and it will take time for people.
Oh, this video is more IT oriented. Right?
It's IT, not only IT oriented. I think that okay, so the impact of digital transformation, sure, but also globalization. We saw the guy in Kenya in the slums who was actually taking on jobs that were outsourced from Europe and from the first world. So they are not very advanced jobs, but for them it means a lot, because like if your average daily wage is $2, then you have a very good sales proposition.
What you do to that?
Data entry. Well, I don't think but the average wage in Kenya is $2 a day. I don't think probably he made more than $2 a day. Doing jobs that were outsourced, but I mean it's not a high wage that he will get today. Probably the agent in between sits in between is probably taking most of the money. Their job is not that easy. They need to take a high-level job and break it apart and divide it in pieces that are manageable by people who don't have the same education level, and then those jobs need to be converted into multiple tasks that can easily be executed by people with less education.
Africa is a big issue, and young people getting increasing year by year, but they can find a job and no education.
Right.
Also, I think this is more difficult than Japan.
In the United States?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
There's a terrible shortage of leaders. How to lead the country and how to lead the company. It's kind of very few people educated.
In the United States?
No, in Africa.
In Africa?
Yeah. So, Japan is they're going to make investment in Africa.
People who are investing in Africa at the moment, that the quality of the labor in Africa is low.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because of education,
level of education. Yes. So China tried to make investment for the agriculture training center, but very few people give them training. Right? And especially their GDP per person 500 to 1,000. Actually, they can do anything. Right? And also many government is bribes, so they try to get money for themselves in government.
Yeah, because there are very little governments in those countries, so that will enable people to take bribes. And in Africa, they have a saying like if you're close to the feeding place, then you better get food, otherwise you're a fool. So one of the solutions here is this global base income.
Oh, global base income?
Universal base income.
This is not an easy job.
It's not an easy job. So we have to look at the video.
Oh, yeah, I know. We have to know.
Yep.